Okay, so welcome to another video. Welcome to another session, and today I want us to discuss something I feel is quite important for us because I feel like the direction that the world is going, it's for some of us it can be a bit scary, and it's not scary just because the maybe prices of things in the world are becoming expensive, but it's because more and more in the world we are becoming more isolated. Yeah. And the isolation is actually causing us much more harm than good. And sometimes it feels like it is design of the world, sometimes it feels like it's the work of the enemy, but it is just a reality that we are faced with. Sometimes I watch some things, and we hear that in the world now there's something called a loneliness epidemic. There's so much negativity that is like hanging around in the entire world, and people have become so distrusting of each other. It is such that if you are not particularly sensitive, you would get sucked into that life. There are so many people that even if they have jobs, they just want to work alone. Everybody's saying I want to work from home. They don't want to be in communal places. They don't want to go out, and the world keeps feeding us more and more things like that are trying to keep us away from people. What prompted me to actually make this video was a particular ad I saw on YouTube, and it was an ad for an AI chatbot. Obviously we know that a lot of these things are hyper-sexualized, but the sexualized nature of the ad was not my issue. The ad says, are you still out there trying to do it alone? Come and chat with me and you can have everything you want and blah 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 blah. So, in that regard. And it made me understand something, that they are taking advantage of the fact that there are so many people right now out there in the world that have maybe tried at some point to make physical connections with people, and it was not as successful as they wanted it to be. And then they have now designed a system to drive people to say, you know what, damn the world, pardon my language, the world, let's just leave everything that's happening out there, and let's just talk. And this is something that is reminiscent of a very hard time, and if care is not taken, we're going to get sucked into something that is going to be of great disadvantage to us. Not because you know there is a, how will I put it, there's some sort of magnificent magic of being around so many people, even if the Bible tells us that good counsel is in the midst of many people. But the way the world is going, the way they are trying to isolate us, they are trying to put us in a position where, unfortunately, I don't want to sound like a conspiracy theorist, but the way the world is going is such that you get to a certain point, and all these systems are going to be brainwashing people because they are isolated, and because there's no community, and because there's no camaraderie, and because there's no togetherness. An AI chatbot to tell you, so this is what is happening in the world, and you're going to accept it, and then you're going to be off on your own, and your brother will be off on his own, and your sister will be off on her own, and everybody will just be in their own singularity, being fed whatever information that they are receiving. And if you today do not stand up to say, what, I'm going to be different, then it's actually just going to end up being more of an issue for you. Let me tell you something, you know to make you understand that even from the God perspective, what's happening now is an antithesis to his agenda. Look at what the Bible says. This was in the beginning, after God had created man. God looked at the man he had created, and the man he had put in the garden to tend to the rest of his creation. He looked at that man after the man was doing what he was doing, working. And if you look at subsequent verses, you find out that it was probably normal for God to come to the midst of the garden to converse with the man. But God coming in the midst of the garden, there was a clear division between the character of God and the character of man. Even if he was made in man's image and likeness, there was something different about God and from the man in that physical sense. All right. So God, being the omnipotent spiritual being, looked at man the physical being and said, the condition of this man is not right. It is not good for him to be alone. That's what God said of the man. It's not good for this man that I have created, this man that has a physical body, to not have someone that is like him that has a physical body. Now, when we look into the context of that scripture, we are able to see, okay, what God ended up creating was the woman. So God was instigating the institution of the family. I understand that. But it makes us know that in God's design, right, it is not good when men are isolated, even if they have God. Right? Even the divine being, the one that created the heavens and the earth, even with his presence in the man's life, there came a point where he said, it is not good for this man to be alone. So God looked at the nature of man and still saw that there was loneliness brooding in him, regardless of the fact that he had a relationship with God. Regardless of that fact. The fact that he had a relationship with God was not enough for God to say this man is not alone. The Bible tells us, I will never leave you or forsake you. The Bible tells us, even yea though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I shall fear no evil, for thou art with me. Yet, when it came to that critical point in the beginning, the Bible said, God himself, not man did not exclaim that he was alone. It was not an animal, in quote, that pointed it out to him, that haven't you noticed that all of us are in twos and you're alone? God himself came, looked at the condition of the man and said, it is not good for this man to be alone. And I said, I'll create someone that is going to be of good, how will I put it? The world calls it helpmeet, but the helpmeet means someone that is prepared for the needs that you have. And if God was not enough for the man that he created, for God himself not to define that man as alone, will an AI chatbot be enough? Will anything that man creates to more isolate man from man be enough? And this is the reason why I'm sending out this message. See, do not allow the fact that maybe friends have spurned you, the fact that maybe you try to talk to people and they disregarded you. Do not allow the fact that maybe you try to create some good relationships, whether it be business, whether it be romantic, whether it be platonic relationships. Do not allow that fact to be the reason why you allow yourself to be alone. Because as God said, it is not good for you. When I say man, I do not mean a male man. I mean a human, right? It is not good for you watching this video to be alone. If you look at all the statistics, most of the people that end up putting themselves in unfortunate situation, you find out that for some reason there was always a separation when it comes to them and their community, and that separation between them and their community was the reason why when they needed somebody, there was nobody there. And you find out that from a lot of their message, you say, I felt alone, nobody understood me, nobody cared for me, nobody was looking out for me. There was a very clear indication that this person was not right, because they had been isolated, because they were alone. And if you do not capture the new level that the world is trying to introduce to you, to make you feel like it is innovation, that new technologies are coming, that we just have to get with the times. You're seeing where AI, the artificial intelligence is, creating videos, editing photos, it's doing so much, and the world is getting to such a great, and you're able to do more, so much more than was possible. You don't have to pay people as much, because some of the things that I wanted to do, you can just use an AI to do it, and all that. There's so much hype behind it, but yet what we are finding in the world is that we are becoming more isolated. And the truth is that when there is no collective, it is easy for us to be picked up. It is Whew. Honestly, I can feel it. Whenever we are isolated, it is easy for us to be picked off. The enemy wants us to be hidden, to be isolated. There was this thing where people started coming up and saying, oh, there's no need to go to church. All these churches, they are fake. They'll say they believe in God. They'll say they love Christ. Yet they'll say, oh, it's not God. God is good. But the issue is the churches. The churches are this. So don't go to church. Stay worship in your house. The message of the enemy to keep you isolated. Because when you are isolated, you become your own tutor. You become the measure of whether or not what you are doing is right. And you become the standard through which you are able to step out into whatever it is you want to go for. You're not able to measure yourself against any other thing. And if you're not able to measure yourself against any other thing, you do not even know whether there's a higher level possible. This is the reality of what the world is bringing to us. The reason why we are getting isolated, the reason why they want you to be by yourself, they want to be able to feed you whatever they want. And I know I sound like some sort of conspiracy theorist, but it's the truth. The system is not just the world, it's not just men. The system is as it was designed by the enemy, by Satan. That conspiracy theory, when people are saying, man, the world is not just the world, it's not just people that are seeking after money. It's the system that Satan has created to further isolate you. And we are falling for it. We are. We don't know what it is that we have to do. We are falling for it. And I don't want this video to be so melancholy. I don't want it to be so sad. I don't want it to be so, oh, the world is going to whatever. But I want to let you know that, look, you have to be intentional if you want to see things change. You wonder why it seems like there are always lines of battle being drawn, and it seems like people can never agree. It's isolation. Political lines, gender lines, all these things, they are being generated so that you will stay away from people. Some people hide behind the things like, the heart, you want to keep your heart. Yes, you do not want anything to penetrate your heart. You do not want to get mixed up with things, But the wonderful thing about God and about Jesus is that He said to us, we'll face troubles, people will hate us, but we should go into that same world of troubles and people hating us and love them and show them Him. As Christians, if we isolate, we are going against what God has called for us. Don't isolate. Don't allow yourself to be trapped in the system where the world is telling you, don't be with people. If they don't agree with you, don't talk to them. If they don't see it your way, stay away from them. That's not the way of this kingdom. If the way that they have is not in line with the way of God, not with your way, don't misunderstand. It's not about your way. Your way is not the issue. It's whether or not they are in line with the way of God. If they are in line with the way of God, you can accept them. If they are not in line with the way of God, you can help them because they need help. But there is no point that you are meant to abandon them. When the Apostle Paul wrote a letter to the people of Corinth, he wrote one letter and said to them, I find out that there are some of you that are accepting of some of these kinds of people that are involved in this, involved in that. Cut them off. That's what he said in one letter. And then in the next letter, he said, When I told you two people cut them off, I did not mean that you should completely abandon them. I meant you need to make them know that if they want to maintain in the themselves in the community, that there needs to be something changed about their life. What you need to do with them is bring them, love them, but show them that there's an error in their ways. There's no time when we are told that it's a good idea for us to abandon people. You say, oh, I will love them from... God's way will never be to abandon people. No, some people think that, oh, God has abandoned. God has never abandoned us. And God will never abandon us. But God looked at the condition of man with his presence. This was before the world was fallen. With his presence, with him always having access to the man, with the man always being available to him. God looked at that man and said, this man's condition is not good because he's alone. And yet now we do not see that the pattern that is being replicated is us going back to that point where we were alone. All over the world now, people don't want to get married. All over the world now, people are isolating. The mission of... See, I beg you. This is very different. I'm working on a different dimension now. I beg you. Make sure you maintain your relationship. Work hard on them. Make sure you are willing to spread forth the gospel of Christ. Love people. You're not meant to be alone. You're not meant to be alone. You're not meant to be alone. So this has been Time Not Prayers. I know it's a bit more, like I said in a few videos ago, there's a change in the way the word is coming to me this season, and I do not want to fight what is being deposited in my heart. So if this is what the Lord wants us to do, then this is what I'll do. I just want you to know that, look, you're not alone. If it's anything you would like, if you would like to reach me directly, just put it in the comment section and say, like, I want to talk to you, or you can hit me up on my socials, Time Not Prayers on Instagram, on Twitter. If you just want an understanding, or you want somebody to hear you out because you feel alone, hear you out because there's something off and you've had experiences that have caused you to feel isolated, I'm not afraid to hear you. All right, so you can hit me up, can send me a message, can write in the comment section, and we can talk. All right, this has been Time Not Prayers for bringing you the word. God bless you.